every year I'm hearing about some fraud or some scam that is happening in the world of cryptocurrency.
One of India's biggest crypto platforms was hacked. It has lost more than $230 million.
$24 million cryptocurrency fraud in India's Himachal Pradesh.
2,000 crores, probably the largest cybercrime event in India. Scammers get people to scam in this money business is they attract you with greed and then get you to pay something upfront and then take that money and run away. A lot of people get pushed into investing into crypto by hearing a friend's story कि यार इसने 21 दिन में पैसा double किया.
First, let's say I have 10 lakh rupees. How should I start investing in my crypto journey?
Start off by first buying maybe 5,000 rupees of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has really grown 45% CAGR last 5 years. Faster than Tesla has or the S&P 500 has or Nifty has. MasterCard today allows you to spend your Bitcoin across 200 million merchants world over using a debit card. You can really use it to buy milk and eggs at your grocery store.
Really?
Yeah. The current sitting president is actually against crypto. Donald Trump has been a pro-crypto guy since like forever, right? Today, 70-80 million voters will go and vote for the party that will not ban crypto.
Correct. So what are the mistakes that people are making when investing in cryptocurrencies which makes them vulnerable to scams?
So I think one of the first mistakes that people do is that they...
Edul Patel, the IIT Bombay alum behind one of India's biggest crypto platform, Mudrex. Bitcoin in the last 3 years has given a whopping return of 312%, more than any other asset class. In this podcast, you will learn how to create a crypto portfolio for long-term investing, how to protect yourself from crypto scams, and what is the future of crypto adoption in India and the world.
I am somebody, let's say, who has 5 lakhs of savings. I am obviously focused on achieving financial freedom, and I have access to a lot of investment options. There is stock market, FDs, bonds, gold, real estate, and all of those things.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone like me to allocate a certain portion of my capital in cryptocurrencies?
The first thing that you need to understand is that investing in crypto today is like investing in companies in the age of the internet in, let's say, the 2000s. Okay. In the 2000s, there were a lot of skeptics about what the internet would be, what it can do, what it can enable. And what it turns out that the internet really helped us get access to information at our fingertips at cheaper rates. And that's really changed the world, right?
Yeah.
So investing in crypto today, if you are investing in it, you would want to do it from that thought process that you're investing in an asset class that's risky, but will likely be a part of our future 10, 20 years down the line. So it's that long-term view.
It's like buying an Amazon stock in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Now, and for that, you really need to believe that Amazon will do well. Right? Either it's that, if you're wanting to invest large, or you say that, okay, you've got this long-term thought process that it will, and let me start small and let me do it recurringly and regularly and, do it over a consistent period of time. So for you, what I would really say is that, okay, it gives you an opportunity to diversify. It gives you an opportunity to get significantly higher returns with higher risk. And as a result, what you want to do is you want to start small and then grow it slowly because it's actually one of the new age asset classes that has emerged that you really don't have that unlike others, you really do have access to. You can start small with as low as 100 rupees and you can go to as much as you want as such.
First, let's say I have 10 lakh rupees to invest. How should I start investing in my crypto journey? How should I begin?
Yeah. So if you've got 10 lakhs to invest, what I would recommend that someone like you do is that you start off by first buying maybe 5,000 rupees of Bitcoin.
5,000 rupees?
Yeah, 5,000 rupees. It's a very small amount relative to 10 lakhs.
Right.
The reason I would say that is because, you just get the first couple of weeks once you buy Bitcoin just to understand what it is so that you can figure out how much you want to add more. Then typically I would say that you would want to set up something like an SIP, doing some recurring investments on a daily basis with the goal of deploying up to that 10 lakh amount in a few months to a year's time period. Once you get into that recurring SIP setup, I would ideally then recommend, if you have the time, then start reading about these top 3, 4, 5 tokens. Start reading about Ethereum, Solana, Matic, maybe Doge. Try and understand what it's about. Get into some of these communities. Try and see what the hype of all about is. And then maybe take some choices based on what you really think is going to blow out of the park. So for example, I think that there is this category inside of crypto called as layer 2 tokens. That's going to really do really well, right? So I have some additional part of my assets parked into that for some reason.
Okay, so break this down for me. Like in the world of stock market, if I had to break down different investment options, there is banking sector, IT sector, pharma sector, right? So
These are all categories.
These are all categories.
Yeah.
So in the world of cryptocurrencies, can you just do that categorization for me?
Yeah. So there are, at the core, there are currencies. Like Bitcoin is a currency because the core value just has exchange of money. Then there are layer 1 platforms, which are these platforms over which compute can be done, which is Ethereum, Solana, and so on and so forth. Then there are infrastructure projects that are built on these layer 1 platforms. And the way you would want to think of is that this is global decentralized AWS. That's one way to think of it.
Okay.
Then there are AI companies that are using crypto and have this broad AI theme. There are, of course, memes like Dogecoin, Pepe, and so on and so forth that people want to invest in. And there are about 17, 18 such different themes that we've identified at Mudrex, and we've created these separate categories about. Which is actually, and it looks, if you abstract away and zoom out, it suddenly starts looking like very similar to the stock market setup. That there are these large cap indexes, there are these large cap assets in the stock market, there are large cap assets in crypto, there are banking and financial subsectors, there are actually infrastructure, payment subsectors inside of crypto. And just like how you take directional bets that, okay, this part is growing. For example, in the equities world, I am really bullish on the financial sector and on FMCG as such in India.
Yeah.
Similarly, I'm very bullish over here on layer 2s and the AI projects that are coming out in crypto.
Interesting. So you personally, like, how much have you invested in cryptocurrencies?
So I think about 25% of my net worth will be in crypto.
And like, can you tell me about the asset allocation of your cryptocurrencies?
Yeah. So 60% would be blue chip. Actually, even more specifically, blue chip will be just Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's like the Tata and the Ambani, the Tata and the Reliance group, if you wanted to have an equivalent of it, right? From a crypto perspective.
That is 60%.
That's 60% of my holdings. Another 30% would be sectorial bets, which would be like the layer 2 assets or infrastructure projects and so on and so forth. And then I think 5 to 10% would actually be meme coins, just because it's fun to have that. It's a great conversation that I can have with a cab driver while coming here.
So what is the kind of CAGR you can expect with cryptocurrencies? Because with stock market, people say 12-15%, FD it is 6-7%. With cryptocurrency, what is the returns that I can expect on a 10-year period, 20-year period?
Yeah, so it will be really, so I would want to start off by having a caveat that crypto has had limited history. And whatever that history is has been of explosive growth. So I can come out and tell you a number that Bitcoin has grown at 45% CAGR over the last 5 years, faster than Tesla has or the S&P 500 has or Nifty has, adjusted for risk. But that might not be the right thing to say, right? Because it sells the wrong thing.
It is based on the recent past, but that is the real boom that has happened. But that we cannot expect that to happen for the next 10 or 20 years.
Correct. Like Bitcoin has really grown 45% CAGR last 5 years.
Okay.
But the way I would want to put a mental model
expectation,
to it,
what should I expect?
What you should expect is that you should invest small. You should continue to invest that it might grow at that rate. It might grow at 40-50% year over year. But some of those years will be really down as well. And what you really want to do is do this long term.
You're saying in the beginning, just start by putting money in Bitcoin and then start researching about other cryptocurrencies.
Just get a feel for it, right? Because see, the reason I'm saying this is because what happens is that a lot of people get pushed into investing, or at least earlier used to get pushed into investing into crypto by hearing a friend's story कि यार इसने 21 दिन में पैसा double किया. That does not work. No real wealth gets created that way, right? You might get lucky once, but in reality, if you just use that as a mental model, it will fail and you'll not end up making money. What you really want is to get an understanding of the space, because you remember what I said early, it's like investing in the internet in 2000s. You really want to understand what this thing is and not just put in your money. And once you get an understanding, you can really make money in the long run. So the amount that you invest today doesn't matter, but the learning that it will give you matters much more. That will help you become better and make you understand and give you that direction as to where this is heading. That's why I would say start that way.
Right now, if I talk to, let's say, 7 or 8 out of 10 people that I ask about cryptocurrencies, their opinion is generally negative because of what has happened in India in the last 3-4 years with the crypto scams and frauds and all of that. So what is that 1 or 2 things that you can tell me or tell the Indians on what could change their mind about cryptocurrency as to what is happening right now that has brought in more legitimacy or more trust to the world of cryptocurrency investing?
Yeah, correct. So I'll give you one anecdote over here, right? So every year at Mudrex, what we do is we have this customer survey that we roll out. It happens every year, and that's the same set of questions. And one very interesting question in it is that do you see crypto as a long-term investment, a short-term investment, as your retirement investment? Those are three different questions. Short-term is मेरे को आज चाहिए, long-term is कि मैं 3-5 साल में निकाल दूंगा और 3-5 years I'll get rid of it, and long-term is I just want to hold it for life, and so on and so forth, right?
Retirement is for life.
Retirement is like I want to hold it for life. 2 years ago, the split was 60 or 70% would say short term, 20 or 30% would say long term, less than 5% would say retirement. That has literally flipped in the last 2.5 years. Now, probably 10% say short term, 15 to 20% say long term, and then 70 odd % people started saying that they're starting to see it as that very really long term retirement portfolio, which was like mind boggling to me. And then when we went deeper, what I realized that 2-3 things that happened. One part was that there is a lot of regulatory clarity that has come in the crypto world in the last 2 years or so. There is a clear taxation format. There is a body called as the FIU that crypto companies go and register with. And this not only happened in India, it's happened world over, right? And that has changed the mindset of how people think about crypto. Earlier, people would say that crypto is a scam, crypto is illegal. Now, at least people understand that it's risky and it's legal. And that's a paradigm shift. Scam and illegal, risky and legal. That's a very different way as to how people think of it. So that's one thing that's happened. The second thing that has happened is that actually in crypto, what happens now? In the equities, all the market cycles are long. They are 10, 12, 15 years. But in crypto, because everything moves so fast and because the adoption is global and because something that happens in, let's say, Japan can affect the crypto prices in the US and it's all the same market, the market cycles are compressed and it's broadly a 3 to 4 year cycle. And as a result, what's happened is that over the last 3 to 4 years, people who got into crypto in the last cycle have understood that, oh, it's risky. And 21 दिन में पैसा double नहीं होगा. I won't double my money. And what I want to think of it is that, okay, I understand that it's valuable and I understand that it'll be a part of the internet economy and that's why I want to put in money for the longer run. And that's why people have gone from doing a vast majority of their assets in some random meme coin or some random token to actually putting in money in Bitcoin, right? That compression of market cycle has changed psyche. And that's everyone's learning journey, right? And that's what everyone goes through. So that's what's happened over the last couple of years. And the third thing that's happened is that, see, over the last 3-4 years, what's also started to happen is that a lot of institutional adoption has happened. This started actually in 21 when first companies just wanted to buy Bitcoin and make it a part of their treasury. Tesla was buying Bitcoin, MicroStrategy was buying Bitcoin and so on and so forth. But now what has really happened is that companies have really started to invest in crypto, making it a part of their own strategy, right? For example, MasterCard today allows you to spend your Bitcoin across 200 million merchants world over using a debit card, right? Wow. And that's really powerful. And that has changed how people have started to look at crypto. You can really use it to buy milk and eggs at your grocery store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When will that happen?
It's already happened. It's already started.
But in India, it's not happened.
I mean, you can use that card. It's a card at the end of the day.
Right.
And you can go to your grocery store and use it to buy your groceries as such.
So let us compare India and US for a second here when it comes to cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
The general notion among the Indian government is that cryptocurrency is, evil and bad, or at least that's what we've been hearing in the newspaper. But in the US, they're very pro, right? Or they don't really talk about banning cryptocurrencies in the US. But in India, that's always a popular narrative. The media is also talking against cryptocurrency. Whenever there is some fault in the cryptocurrencies, in the cryptocurrency market, the media goes all out against bashing cryptocurrency and, calling it bad. But the US is not like that. So why is that difference happening?
I think it's just later in the adoption cycle. Roughly 50% of US households today have some format of crypto with them.
Wow. Okay.
And that's a large number. It's almost comparable to the number of people who actually have equities in US.
Correct. But in India also, what I read is the number of crypto accounts in India is more than the number of demat accounts in India.
Actually, it's not true. Those numbers are slightly inflated. I think I think in India, the numbers would be that there would be about 5 million people who would have some amount of crypto.
That's it.
Yeah.
So 50 lakh people.
50 lakh people who would have some amount of crypto.
Whereas the number of people with demat accounts is about 14-15 crore people.
Yeah. It's much higher. So there is that large difference. And also a lot of people who do have crypto in India is just very small amounts, right? A lot of them just came in 2-3 years ago. Just they wanted to play around and start trying it just to understand. हाँ, 100 रुपए डाल दिया and then actually भूल भी गए. So that's why I discount most of that. People have not gotten into it. But in US, the situation is very different. People have significant sums in crypto. A lot of them hold crypto in their own wallets. A lot of them believe in the ethos of crypto.
That's because the government also is pro-crypto there, right? Comparatively to India.
Again, governments go through their own cycles. And there is that, and governments try and move towards where the masses are over time, because that's the popular vote.
Correct.
And if you look at how that notion has changed, broadly the current sitting president is actually against crypto.
You're talking about Biden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Biden and the current democratic policies are actually anti-crypto. But that's changing. Now, the Harris campaign says that, okay, crypto is going to be great and we'll do something to illegalize it. Donald Trump has been a pro-crypto guy since like forever, right? So now suddenly, first there was just one party that was against it and one party for it. Now both are for it, right? That's because today, 70-80 million voters will go and vote for the party that will not ban crypto, because today they hold significant sums of crypto.
Correct.
In India also, it's not like the government is anti it. If in fact the government wants to figure out a way to do it, but we also need to understand that crypto is not a currency, it's not an asset, it's not a commodity, yet somehow it is all of these three things together and much more. And that uncertainty brings fear. And that's why I say that what they've done over the last few years is actually really good, because the first thing that they did was try and answer that question. Achha, chal kya raha hai crypto mein? How much of it is going on? And the easiest way to do it is that, okay, let's set up a taxation framework, let's set up TDS, and let's do that. So that's what they did. Then last year, once they got some sense of what's going on in crypto, they thought, okay, now these many people are transacting, but all of them are transacting through some of these crypto entities. So now let's get the crypto entities together under one body and ask the crypto entities to start reporting transactions that are suspicious.
How do I look at the safety factors when it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies, when almost every year I'm hearing about some fraud or some scam that is happening in the world of cryptocurrency? Like, for example, recently, Mudrex reported that, they were hacked for almost $230 million. That is like half of the money that is kept on Mudrex. So many people lost their money. So how can I still feel, confident about investing in crypto when I hear news like this?
So yeah, Mudrex got hacked for about 230 million. That's 2,000 crores, probably the largest cybercrime event in India. And unfortunately, Mudrex was a victim of a very sophisticated cyber fraud or a cyber attack by sophisticated North Korean hackers, who actually is reportedly the same group that hacked into the Bank of Bangladesh and stole away $1 billion worth of money from them. Now, the reason why they were victim to this is because they put about 50% of the funds into what is called as a single self-custody wallet that they held. And if someone got access to that wallet, they could remove all money almost instantly and take it away into their own wallet and then use it wherever they wanted, right? Some platforms take that choice, other platforms do it differently. At Mudrex, we take security very seriously. And the way we handle all of this is that we park funds across multiple different accounts. You can think of it this way, that Mudrex put 50% of their funds inside a locker inside their own house. But the way Mudrex does it differently is that we use multiple lockers and we use multiple banks where these lockers are very safe and very secure and insured so that your funds is safe. And that's why even if something like this happens, there is a very low risk that a large amount of money will move out.
So you're saying that Mudrex kept almost half of their money in a locker, which they only had to protect.
Correct.
They could not protect it well enough, and some thief came and stole it.
Correct.
In your case, you don't keep the money in your house. You keep the money in multiple banks.
Correct.
And the banks are responsible for protecting your money.
And they're charging us.
And these banks are charging you, and they're also responsible for protecting hundreds of billions of dollars for other big institutions.
Correct.
Got it. So that's how you make it more secure. And it is much more difficult for a hacker to hack that.
Correct.
Got it. Interesting. So what are the mistakes that people are making when investing in cryptocurrencies, which makes them vulnerable to scams?
So I think one of the first mistake that people do is that they join some Telegram group, WhatsApp group, hear about some random cryptocurrency that is doing really great, and go ahead invest like a large sum of money, hoping that it will double in value in a short period. That's like the first basic mistake that people should avoid.
Okay.
But there are a bunch of other things that people do wrong as well. They fall susceptible to these online trading channels that are giving them tips of parking funds with them and giving them unrealistic returns. And as a result, I think my rule of thumb is that if you see something that's too good to be true, it's probably not. What you want to do is double check and verify.
What is too good to be true? Give me an example.
Like, for example, some companies are saying that they'll give you 25% returns week over week over week, month over month over month.
In cryptos.
Doing whatever, but in this case, yes, in crypto. Right? So that's what has been promised to people. They fall prey to it and as a result lose a large sum of money.
Got it.
That's one. Then there are a lot of impersonation scams. People get calls, like for example, a lot of people get calls in the name of Mudrex saying that I'm calling from Mudrex. Why don't you park some money over here? And the website is mudrexcx.com or mudrexav.com, and it looks identical to Mudrex, but people fall prey to it. We've actually got a court order done where we've taken down hundreds of these websites that impersonate us. So that's another example where people fall victim to scams and so on and so forth. So a bunch of these things happen. The general part is always the same because it's all about making money, right? And the way scammers get people to scam in this money business is they attract you with greed and then get you to pay something upfront and then take that money and run away. So if it's too good to be true, just don't invest in it.
So any lasting words for the audience as to their overview on cryptocurrency investing?
So I would just want to reiterate that it's completely legal to invest in crypto. Not everyone should be investing in it, but if you're investing in it, you should be investing in it from the long-term perspective. Ideally, start with Bitcoin, start small, grow your wealth and grow your investment slowly and steadily. Do it early on to understand what all of this is about so that you get a better hang of it before you put serious amounts of money into it. And just be a part of this revolution that's going on.
On that note, thank you so much, Edul. I think that was very, very insightful to understand what has been the changes in the world of cryptocurrencies, and probably this gives people a lot more insights and confidence if they want to start investing in the world of cryptocurrencies. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And guys, thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next one.